get to work when it comes to the actual manga, So there's going to be a one version of my manga that's basically I'm going to get this through a one pass. I'm not to want it out. So like what's going on is this, literally. So speaking of that, there will be a Nonz special that's based off the Turing exams in the movie Stomp the Yard, where literally Gabaya and them go to a dancing boot camp when Julie Yosuke gets to show her dance for freedom. They get trapped in this boot camp, like literally, they adapt to everything. It's like fucking being trapped in Camp Sweeney. You're forced to work out, and like literally, so like they're working out, they're doing hella fucking ninja shit. It's like literally, what would happen if Stomp the Yard took place in the Forest of Death, and like the dancing, like literally, what so Julia does, they the dance for freedom. Fucking dance is already incorporated with fights. This is gonna be a martial arts dance movie, so it's basically like a Tito based movie, like a Hurricane Chris and Tito based Nonz movie. So I'm thinking of doing that, fucking Stomp the Exam. Like, I'm thinking that might be a fucking dope one. Like, it's one of the early ones. So the first movie I want to make is the pilot, which has miscellaneous timelines with different, like, Stangelica can be with Guinevere, at a certain point in time, like, the pilot is fucking miscellaneous. It's fucking one shot. So the pilot's gonna have Samurai Pink versus Sugio. Fucking how this all started. So let me go into the prologue. So everybody says Tupacalypse. So let me tell you. So Tupacalypse has one metal arm like the Full Metal Alchemist. He's black and he has a bandana like Tupac. He's Tupac with the Full Metal Alchemist arm. So this is how the story starts off. So the Elder God Madia literally cursed the world with hyphy juice, a spiritual tsunami that cursed literally the demons and humans and caused a war between them. And so what happened is Tupacalypse was the first person to learn alchemy. He was the first person to learn how mold hyphy juice, and so he is the ultimate manipulator. So that he possesses the Xeon Eye. This is the full story, fucking part one, literally. So this is everything before the time skip. So please be aware. And I do have literally freaking the first arc of the time skip confirmed. Fucking. So this is really, really, really tragic. I can't really fucking spoil too much, but Skills is involved in this main timeline. But this is really, 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 oh my god, but you're gonna love this, okay? So anyway, it starts off with, the prelogue of, literally, how they all learn the power. So there's going to be, literally freaking a spoof movie of the, the prelogue. The prelogue involves this rapper called Slim Fade. Slim Fade is based off Eminem. So Slim Fade is a part of the prelogue along with T-Pod, and they really crazy. So, T-Pod, for example, his fucking air power, how Tito has the bass palm. He has a mega bass palm that can that can actually control wind. So he controls wind and sound and the bass palm. So it's very, very fucking powerful. So that's T-Pod. T-Pod has literally a beanie with leopard dreads. So that's T-Pod. T-Pod has literally a beanie with leopard dreads. And literally, it with gold teeth. And T-Pod is a rapper. He's Mexican. He's he's not based off T-Pain, but that may be one of his abilities. The auto-tune fucking voice. I may give that to Kafani. She may give that to a robot. Who knows? Fuck that. It's crazy as fuck. Literally. And so the prelogue starts off with a war with Bendroid, where Kazik fights Bendroid, and so Bendroid tries to hit Kazik, where a car, he's trying to hit him with a ratchet. He's right next to a car, so what happens is Kazik throws a seed bomb, and it explodes the car. And so it captures Bendroid, so we all know about pilot games, so it all came down to this evil organization, Delulu, the city was under attack. So as Kakumori went to war with Makai, Delulu instigated everything and literally took the imaginary friends, Gabaya specifically. So Gabaya is the Jinchuriki of the show because his imaginary friends are the strongest, and he has the biggest imagination out of all of them. So literally, that is how the preload starts. So Delulu took it from Gabaya, everybody Rogata, literally, specifically the fucking children. So Kanabi, who is Kanabi? Kanabi is the father of Kido. So Kanabi is based off story from Naruto, and he's the Tori master. He's the Tori master. So what's going to happen is he dropped Kido on his head because he wasn't a certain power level and he was escaped from Kido, and that's how Kido ended up retarded. So he dropped him on his head. So Kido has a Kid Goku complex. He's really fucking funny and shit like that. So Nonz is a very big continuity. So if you were confused before, there you go. But anyway, So like literally, so what happened was literally, so Toby Gita, and that's all part of the prologue. So Grim Tear used to be in love with Toby Gita. So Grim Tear is based off Uru. Tear used to be in love with Toby Gita. So Grim Tear is based off Uru, Tear from Fairy Tail, and Grimjow from Bleach. And she can teleport in throughout her teardrops like Haku. And she's super strong like in a run car, like, you know what I'm saying? So she fights Juveri and Imagashi, and she's really freaking, she's like, tell me everything you know about Toby Gita. How you know about Toby Gita? Like, literally, it's crazy as fuck. So, like, literally, so that's, like, literally, that's a part of Imagashi for you. So, like, literally, so it goes into, so let's go into, like, the prelogue. And, literally, so what ends up is, like, literally, once everything's established, once the war is ended, Niccolo was based off my middle name, and my mom actually made my middle name Niccolo after an old black and white actor from her, you know, era in time. So, like, literally, so she middle name me Niccolo. So, Sir Niccolo is taking care of an orphanage. Yep. There you go, like literally. So Sir Niccolo is taking over the orphanage, but he's also along with Mickey Maru Sensei. So Mickey Maru Sensei is a little mouse, but he can expand his arm like Makarov. So like literally, so this is how the series first started out. This is one of the rough draft. You know, this is how I introduced it to Stephanie. This is one of the beginnings from Nonz. There are many beginnings from Nonz, but I took him out like literally. I took him out like literally in the beginning because how it started off was like literally. I'm just gonna put it like this. I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm gonna get straight to the training with the Kazi. It used to be them going on a mission, them meeting this rabbit demon out of nowhere, and them teaming up against a rabbit demon, and then literally freaking the rabbit demon kicks all their asses and shit, and then fucking like literally he swallows Gabaya, and Gabaya is like literally like swimming in like demon, you know, fucking demon fluid and shit, and like literally he's like, how did I get here? My name is Gabaya Murioto. That's one way to start Nonz. There was many ways I was thinking I was starting Nonz. I have no idea literally if I should put all this in one, and then I was thinking of doing like literally freaking letting you guys know everything. Like I was leaving it up to Foundation to do the storyboard for Ranye, and fucking like literally how like literally Ranye introduces himself, and literally fucking Ranye couldn't fucking, he was about to name his team Ranye, but they wouldn't let him, so he named his team Dropout instead. So So I was wondering if the series should have started off like that, like if I should introduce him on day by day. Hey, it's the good old Zach. No, it's like it's that good old douchebag named Zaf. Or literally freaking this and that. Literally introducing like how they grew up from freaking the fucking orphanage shit, because they all grew up in the same orphanage. Zaf used to puck more hero around when they were little kids. Used to always be smarter than him. Used to always pull more goals than him. Used to always do everything, and he was more physically active. And that's literally a part of the quirk. So Zaf's literally quirk is literally freaking to like literally his power is to connect electrical, you know, dots and shit like that, you know. But he's really, really fucking cool. Especially there's gonna be like a future version of Zaf literally where he learns how to touch, so he can like there's a peak of that in the Valentine's Day special where he can make those fucking shapes out real because he learned how to do this dance move named Tut, where you already create shapes and shit, so he automatically creates the shape. So he's crazy as fuck. So later on, Zaf is gonna learn how to Tut and literally use his fucking touch to create really, really, really nice techniques. It's gonna be crazy. So like it's really fucking crazy. Like Motor Hero is gonna expand his like static ring too. There's going to be like a time. Originally he can shock you if he has enough hyphy juice. Like literally, I made him. There's a lot of handicaps I put in Nonz because that's what makes him more interesting. Like Kito's handicap of literally being like behind his age. Literally, he's always good at hand-to-hand combat, and he's always improvising with these like the paper airplanes. Literally, he's round up on you, fucking literally watching them swarm around you, try to confuse you and shit. Literally, screw up at you again. Like literally, fucking you knock him back down. Literally, he throws a spit wad at you. You fucking expose. And then fucking he's a very relentless hero. I love Kito. Like literally, that was Stephanie's favorite character. So like fucking that's how he fights and shit. Literally, he's always fucking evading, fucking no matter how much he gets beat up, fucking he figures out right, like, you're just a big bully. Like, literally, that's literally Kito. And, like, Kito kicks so much ass, it's crazy. So, like, Tito, oh my god. He's one of the sexiest characters I created. He literally spins on his head and knocks so many fucking people out. It's fucking really crazy. So, the series starts off with all that, and literally, so they meet up with Kazik Dachihiro, and Kazik Dachihiro gives a speech that's related to like Kakashi's speech when they first, of course they know Roku Furiaki, that's all. So after the prelogue, like literally what goes on is this, like literally, what happens is they train for the big out arc and like Lily. So Yura like joins the team of Bayaki after Lily getting captured by Gabaya. So like Lily. So what happens is like Lily Yura comes and like Lily Gabaya and like freaking Yura freaking he introduces Yura to Team Kazik, you know, and Beta is looking at her first day like, whoa, Gabaya. He's like, easy, Beta. I found her first, like, it's crazy as fuck, so, like, so, Gabaya is crazy as fuck, like, it's mania as fuck, like, so, the original aspect of the Gabaya was going to be kind of stale, if you gotta ask me. He was originally going to be really cool, like, even though he had emotional moments, like, if you didn't kill Candy Boomer, I wouldn't have been able to move on, like, so I took that out. I might be able to put it back in the arc where it normally belonged. So, what happened was this, so, like, so, Lily, even though he had that, he was inspirational, but I felt like he was too much like Naruto, like the other protagonists. Now that I've enjoyed life a little bit, I've added a Yusuke Urameshi aspect to his character, but I still like literally kept him kind of weebish, like kind of lameish. Like I kept him like lame where it came to like literally fucking certain aspects, but he was so aware of the situation, it's not even funny. Like, oh, let's get on like Donkey Kong. Fucking, that's literally what he is. Like literally, he's literally like, there. I know. He whooped my ass. You told me 100th time. Are you gonna sit there? Like, it's crazy as fuck. So literally, that is crazy as fuck. It's crazy as fuck. So like literally, that Gabaya's like new character involves a lot of smart aleck behavior and like literally a lot like because he still is porno now. Like the original one was just gonna be Naruto. I'm like, no, I like this Gabaya way better. So this is the final draft in the official version of the release Gabaya with the just the spirit of Naruto, but with the badass attitude of Yusuke Urameshi. And freaking what he does is like literally freaking if he's in control of the situation, yes, like fucking if he has the upper hand of the battle, yes, he's going to cap. But when villains cap on him, like that shit is funny as fuck. Literally, it's crazy. So Gabaya is literally fucking very a flexible character where it comes to his series, but also fucking what makes him so fucking unique is that he's the one with the most abilities. You know how like all those other characters and Nonz like literally oh my god, literally. So there ends up happening. So Kazik trains them like this. So they barely like literally handle Kazik's training. He's whooping all their asses. Like he's throwing like Tito at Tito and shit like that. Tito throws a hands and shit like that, literally. He's throwing hands with fucking Tito and shit, like he's blocking every single one of Tito's tut cannons, literally. And so he throws a branch at Better, and Better is riding on the fucking wood. He's riding on the branches like fucking Tarzan wearing a skateboard, and he tries to hit Kazik, and then he summons an even bigger branch, and then he catches like literally Better's arms in between the branches and shit, like literally, and the skateboard falls down, and like literally, and then fucking Gabaya tries to throw fucking hella move bombs at him. He evades hella fucking quickly, blocking every single one of their hits, and he's like, "You guys aren't in sync at all, but that's why I like you." So I was thinking of incorporating this, but I think it would mess up the flow. So before, like, after Gabaya gets horribly beaten by Big Al, like, literally, knows why he's not nowhere near strong enough to beat Big Al. And literally, I'm thinking, like, what's happening, Gabaya? Chops, and like, literally, fucking what happened is Ranye will approach Gabaya. I have no idea if freaking Ranye approaching Gabaya is like, well, if you want to know the secret to, like, find chimeras, I guess Kazik Dachi here is your best bet. Like, so I would go ask him for advice and stuff like that. Like, Ranye is fucking crazy as fuck. Literally, Ranye doesn't even go to that fucking school and shit. Ranye is just reading the book just to fuck around. Like, he is a dropout, like exponential strength. So what happens is this is like, so one of the training sessions he tries to prove himself. So he tries to face Kazik Dachi Hero. He's like, you're nowhere strong enough to beat Big Al. So the Big Al arc comes like this. So like, literally, it is a rescue mission for Europe, but it's not. So something I added I did add in 7th grade, but I added this year. Now that I thought about it, now that, okay, so only 3 people have a fight in, like, the Big Al arc. In, like, literally, freaking, it's Gabaya, Tito, and Beta versus Big Al and his 2 strongest dudes. Okay, so, literally, so before all that happens, Gabaya does a whole lot of training sessions. He even challenges Zaf to a fight. But before that happens, Yura challenges Zaf to a fight because Yura is technically stronger than Gabaya because Yura is like literally stronger than Gabaya. Gabaya has way more technique, is way more cool, is just so more experience where it comes to girl shit in general. So fucking he's not afraid of a woman and shit like that. And that's one of the great like characteristics of him. He may be stupid, but he's definitely not afraid. So Yura takes on Zaf, and like literally fucking Yura loses to Zaf. It's like, damn, Gabaya, if I can't take him, you have no chance. And so like literally, fool, what happened was this, so Gabaya literally fucking squares up with Zaf, and so Gabaya literally finds his way to try to challenge Zaf and beat Zaf before he faces off Kazikachi Hero again. So after they all got stronger through numerous months of training, literally they square off for each other. And literally, so show me that you're a team leader and face all the members of Nonz by yourself. And so literally, so Gabaya does that. So they all team up with Gabaya. Like, dude, that's how Gabaya changes. There's a lot of choreography that goes on with Gabaya. I was watching this one opening. You know how like Tito has a lot of hand-to-hand combat, and you know how they train sometimes in the opening. I want one secret to the opening. As soon as the opening like literally gets deeper down the line in the series, where like Gabaya squares up with Tito, and like Gabaya's like going hand-to-hand with combat with Tito, like literally in the opening. It's a lot of continuity and Nonz. I really like originated this to really be a blockbuster hit. Like literally, I really like structured this in order for like you guys to understand that I want to be the next mangaka guy. Literally, ever since I was young, and literally I was literally talking to people like literally, oh, you're black, you can't be a mangaka. Like literally, my whole entire life, it was crazy as fuck. But like literally, so let me go into like what made the Big Out arc so impactful. So the original Big Out arc plays like this. So literally, so what happens is this. It's so like literally, Gabaya, Tito, and Beta like literally finally face off a Big Al. But what I added in that I didn't have in like 8th grade, so here's how it happens. So Motohiro like has this plan to enter Big Al's fortress, Big Al's kingdom. So what happens is Big Al has a kingdom in the desert, kind of like Egypt and shit, where he has a whole bunch of chimera soldiers, kind of like the ones you've seen at Rimiro Slime. Rimiro Slime, epic foreshadows Gabaya Murioto with Gabiru. So Gabiru is epic foreshadowing for Gabaya Murioto. Rimiro Slime's eyes are yellow, as epic foreshadowing as Gabaya as well. So like literally, so like if you go watch That Time I Got Reincarnated of Slime, it has multiple like references to Gabaya, and like literally, that's the best thing about it is I changed like that is what would happen like literally. So like Gabaya Murioto like literally training hard and big